from Whatever Works Wellness Consultancy here, and it's good to see you again. So today I thought I'd talk about a topic that many experience, but it doesn't seem like anyone is talking about in the true capacity it should be talked about, which is the damaging health effects that come from having bad neighbours. So not every neighbour is bad, but when you get a bad neighbour or a series of bad neighbours, it will do severe things to your mental and physical health of you and the people in your environment, so your family. So we've had a lot of studies here in Australia and internationally when it looks into the health effects from living on a busy road. We've also had a lot of studies into the health effects from being in hostile family dynamics. We've had a lot of, or workplace dynamics, mind you. And we've also had a lot of studies into the health effects that come from being in like hostile, never-ending situations. So like complex post-traumatic stress and so on. But I don't see much research into the health effects that come from living next door to people that are reducing your sleep or reducing your quality of life. No one seems to be talking about that. It seems to also be a grey area when it comes into, say, council, legislatory bodies. So, you know, like who can do anything about it? Department of Housing and the police. So I won't pass too much commentary on whether or not it's deliberate, but it certainly seems like it's deliberate, that if you want to make a formal complaint with all of these agencies, it doesn't seem to be taken very seriously for a very long time, if at all. This is quite a unique situation, I find. So say if you're at the pub and someone had had too much grog and they were continually creating a problem for everyone, they would be asked to leave the pub. Say if you were on a plane and a person was had a mental health problem and they were yelling and screaming and causing problems for everyone else, they'd be asked to quieten down, and if they weren't, they'd be arrested and asked to explain themselves in a court, or they'd at least have to explain themselves as to why they should be allowed to fly in the future. In a workplace, if someone showed up to work drunk or on drugs and started fighting with everyone, HR would get involved. That person, in most situations, would be held accountable for their actions and they'd be fired if they continued that behaviour, or if they'd taken it to a level where no one could get anything done. But for some reason or another, in your home, you're told that it's your problem, and then you get asked questions like, well, have you closed your windows? Have you closed your doors? Have you changed to double glazed windows? Have you went over and talked to them? Why is it actually the homeowner's problem? Or the renter, but why is it the homeowner's problem that someone external to their behaviour is not being sorted by council, by police, by Department of Housing, whomever, right? So, and don't mind me, I'm just checking my notes, by the way. So, Australia at least, we signed basically an agreement through the UN where we all thought, what is the appropriate levels of war, right? So, in a war situation, we signed a document saying sleep deprivation of a person is considered torture. But in times of peace, it's your problem. It kind of feels weird when you actually look at it like that, right? So a person who's exhausted creates problems for themselves and everyone around them. So an exhausted person, well, first and foremost, they don't enjoy their day. They perform less at work. They're more dangerous on the road. They're more snappy and snarly at their partners or their children. The problems from sleep deprivation and continual stress aren't just individual health problems. They're health problems that spread throughout everyone that person interacts with. So someone who's sleep deprived from crap neighbours as regular. Okay, so if they haven't had enough sleep, their body acts like it's drunk. So they're driving, they're more likely to create an accident. They pull in to go and get some groceries. Someone looks at them sideways. They're already exasperated and they start a fight in the supermarket. Yes, it is that person's choice to drive. Yes, it is that person's choice to start a fight. But how much pressure is that person under before they start to engage those behaviours? So this problem not only causes individual problems, but it causes society problems. So the individual problems from having not enough sleep or being in continual stressful or hostile situations, you can definitely have problems with blood sugar. So you're more likely to get diabetes, you're more likely to have hormonal disorders, you're more likely to have joint disorders from weight gain and too much sugar, inflammatory disorders, 1,001 different things. So basically name me almost any disease and I'll say, yep. Including Alzheimer's. So basically being around bad neighbours can shorten your life by years or even decades and spread these health problems and these emotional centric problems to members that don't even directly have that experience. So unfortunately, it doesn't seem like just going, oh, well, have you talked to them or have you just filled out a police report? It doesn't actually seem like it's good enough. It's not sufficient for the problems that it creates for our society and individually. So it would be extremely beneficial for our legislators and for our enforcers to actually help us when we ask for problems to be sorted so that they're taken more seriously. Time will tell. So you, the layperson, if nothing else, when you're in those situations, if you can't afford to move, if you feel like your reports are landing in the never-ending death cycle or being ignored, go and source mental health support and take lots of magnesium, B vitamins, eat your fruits and vegetables, exercise, even if you don't feel like it. When you're exhausted and annoyed, you are much more likely to just go, I'm too tired to exercise, I just want to eat pizza or a cake or whatever, have a coffee in the morning, all of that sort of stuff. Look, I get it. I have personally been there. I ended up selling my house. So my health advice to you, just sell your house. No, just be broke like me. Woohoo! But the long and the short is be very gentle with yourself and be as gentle as possible with everyone you interact with. This is actually a severe problem. It is a horrible problem. And my heart does go out to you. I'll leave that topic there just purely because I can't offer you any other solutions other than just treat this as a standard stress disorder because it is, and treat your members of your family the same. Magnesium, B vitamins, fruits and vegetables, exercise. There is very little else you can do until the situation either resolves on its own, you sell up and leave, or that person gets somehow or other removed from that environment. Also be aware and read into complex trauma reactions. So complex, so little c, PTSD, that is a very real thing when it comes to having had a negative experience where it's lower grade than one-off situation, but it's continual enough and it warps your headspace. So if you move away from a bad neighbor and then you have another bad neighbor and you're like, oh my God, I can't relax, be very gentle with yourself. That is a very real condition. Okay. So if you've got any topics that you'd like to discuss, my contact details are in the description box below. Also links to my blog that has topics like this. And if you would like to have contact channels as well, it's all in the description below. Okay, thank you. See you next time.